This is Irontrader. It is hump day, which means it is crude day. Now, the API report came out yesterday on crude, and you had a huge draw pretty much across the board here. Now, what we have to really watch is that EIA report today at 10:30 for crude, and we'll see if it all, coincides. Okay, so we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas, and then we'll take a look here at the NQ, which is NASDAQ futures. And we'll take a look here at Tesla, which had their earnings out yesterday, Netflix, and then Chipotle, which has their earnings out today after the close. Okay, this video is for information purpose only, not a recommendation to buy, selling stock amount ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have the old Bitcoin. Now, yesterday I was watching the futures there, waiting for the API report to come out, and all of a sudden it just started rallying. I mean, just ripping higher. Now, again, the reason is Trump came out and says that he has no intentions of firing Powell, okay? And the market just smoked higher, okay? And another thing is, too, is Tesla earnings. They had their numbers yesterday. Now, they missed on pretty much on every metric, but the stock started rising. So always remember, it's not the news that matters, it's the reaction to that news, okay? Even though they're down 20% year over year, he came up and says, okay, we're going to make this small, affordable car and all this and all that, you know what I'm saying? So, the market just ripped right back up here. So that is a meme stock, so you always remember that. Okay, let's take a look here now at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin here, looking pretty good. Now, I was pointing out here, we had this left shoulder, we had this head, and we had this right shoulder, okay? So if we flip that over, that's going to take us pretty much to about the 105,000 area, okay? Now, what I was also saying is watch that 50-day. Obviously, we broke above that, and then we had this price channel, which is basically just the top of that candle at 89.20. Now, she can rip it right back up here, but even in that big sell down, this didn't really go down that bad. Okay, so that was the first tell. Another thing is, too, is always look at the tails. Okay, see, we had this positive divergence where we had this low, we had a low, lower low, higher low. Okay, positive divergence. Always keep that in mind. Same way with here, we had this nice double bottom with a higher low. Always watch that. Any kind of a tails that'll give you an edge. Okay, then I was pointing out what we're looking for as a target is going to be this 93,173, and we're watching this 21-day here at 93,490. Now, you can see here right now, Bitcoin, we're sitting here at 93,670, so we are above those levels, okay? Let's look at the downside here first, okay? So you want to watch this 93,490, that's going to be key. And then we want to watch this 93,173. Now, you can see here we have a gap on the chart, okay? So always watch that bottom of that candle, 92,690. There's your gap. And then we look to the top of this candle, 91,970. There's your fill, your gap and fill. So if this sells down, watch that gap and fill. That's going to be support level, okay? And then we can come right down to the top of this candle here. That's at 89,920. Then we can come down to that 50-day at 87.55. And then we have 86,967. But look at this 8-day, how nice it's crossed over that 21-day. Now wants to cross over that 50-day. And as long as this that price is above, you've got sideways to up action. Now see, if it follows this, so even if it comes down and it holds that 8-day, this is still very, very bullish chart. Now, on the upside here, say it keeps right on running. Okay, so you have that 94,660 level. Then this is the next level. Just bring this price channel right across. That's going to be your target. Is going to be that 95,705. Okay, so we have that today's high, 94,660. Right there, that's going to be 95,705. That's going to be your next target level. Okay, then what we do is come to the top of this candle. You're looking at 96,625. And then what we do is we just bring this price channel right across. That's the next channel. Price you're looking at is 99,765. Okay, so all we do is just bring the price channels across 100,765. Okay, bring it right across here, and then what we have 102,635, and then we can come right up here. We have 106,570, and then we have 106,945, and then your big retest is 110. Okay, so this is breaking out kind of a situation. Now, RSI here, you're sitting at 62. You got plenty of room to run to the upside. Your green is over your red, which is showing that you have momentum there to the upside, and we're at the bottom of it, which is very, very nice. Okay, so this is actually working very good. So again, watch on a closing basis this 21-day, and then watch this 100-day. Okay, if that's lost, Watch that gap, that fill, and then we have this top of this candle here at that 89.20, which was the breakout line here of that pattern, which is your medium. Okay, so again, this is looking very, very bullish. I'm long the IBIT. I added yesterday to it, and I just think that even any kind of a pullback here, I think this is just gearing up here to go much, much higher until we get some kind of an older sold condition. I'm going to be staying long. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, okay, we had this nice bottom tail, okay? Then we had this consolidation, which we're pretty much still in that consolidation. Now, I said, watch, so if it keeps right on running, we have two levels that we're looking for here. That 65.22, which is just above this 21-day. The 21-day is key at 64.96. So if you look at the candle, where did it go? Right into the 21-day. This is why you trade the charts. Now, if we can get above that, okay, this 21-day, then we're going to be looking right to the bottom of this candle right here, okay? You're looking at 65.98, then we'll look to the top of that candle, 66.90, and then we're going to be looking for this 67.27. That is your 50-day. See how nice this is lined up? 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, 200-day, and then we have your big retest up there at 72.28. Now, again, OPEC member is going to be dumping a lot of crude on the market here on May 1st, okay? So that's going to make a difference. However, we have summer driving coming in right now. Okay, that's the key. And a lot of times this was down because they're talking about a recession and all this kind of stuff. But if the T-Man can get these tariff situations all smoothed out here with all these countries, I'm telling you, you could have yourself a rip your face off rally right in everything. Okay, so you just got to be patient. That's the key. Is you got to be a little bit patient here. Trade the range. It's a trader's market until we can get some resolution. Okay, so what we're watching today is this 21-day. That's going to be very, very key, okay? Now, if we can get above that, if you look at the weekly chart here, we got this 65.44, which is going to be pretty much just right above it, okay? And then what we can do, we can get back into this action here and start heading up higher to that 21-day and that 50-day possible, all the way on up here. But again, we have this bottoming tail, but we have this 8-day that crossed over that 21-day, so this is going to be strong resistance as the price is rising up here. So just watch this 8-day today. That's going to be key. And the key is going to be this 21-day here on your daily chart. Now, on the downside here, we need to hold this 8-day. This is going to be key here. Now, you can see here how nicely, once that price gets above it, see that's how it's following. Now, if we can get that 8-day to keep going, you could cross over that 21-day and it will send that price up and retest all these levels. But right now, we got to trade what's in front of us. Okay, so what we're doing on the downside is watch that 62.70 level. If that's lost, we're going to come right down here. You had 61.76, and then we'll come down to the bottom there. You're looking at 60.44, and we just follow this all the way down. 59.43. We have 58.76. We have 57.88, and then your retest down there at 55.12. But right now, this is looking very good. It got to an oversold condition. We're only sitting at 48, plenty of room to run. Your green crossed over your red, shows a nice momentum to the upside. But the 21-day and this 8-day is going to be everything on the upside. We close above it. We have target of the 50-day, 100-day, and 200-day. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have the old natural gas here. Now, you can see here we just put a low in all the way down here at that 2.95 level. We were watching this 50-day at that 3 level. You can see where it got just a little bit below, but again, it popped right back up here. It closed back above. Now, on the upside, this is what we're watching is at 306. That's going to be very, very key. And we get above that, we can go to yesterday's high, 309. And then, but realistically, what we're looking for, we have 319 on the bottom there, but what we're looking for right here is that 8-day at 323. Once that price gets below that 8-day, you can see how strong that resistance is, okay? So if you know what's coming down here, and you know it's going to rally up and it's going to go and that 8-day is going to stop it, how much money could you make here just trading this, okay? This is a trader. This is not a buy and hold. Right now, natural gas is in the shoulder season, okay? But if we have a hot summer going on, you combine that with some LNG, combine that with hurricane season, natural gas could rip up pretty good here. And we've had this really big time sell-off, and we got to almost to an oversold condition here. Okay, so we're waiting for this MACD to turn right back up, and we got to see how that's going to shake out. So what we want to watch on the downside is we want to watch this 50-day, and that's 3. Okay, we want to watch yesterday's low. That's at 2.95, and then we want to watch the bottom of this candle. Right here, okay? So we're looking at 2.83. That's your next support level. And then we have 2.74. Okay, let's see here. Now that 2.74 level is going to be very, very critical, but we don't even know if it's going to get there. Right now, we bounced off that 50-day, which is looking very, very nicely. Okay, so this was a really good pattern here. We have a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, but now we just put a topping tail in here. Always watch for those, and then she came right on down. But as long as we can hold this key level here, this 3 flat here on a closing basis, this has got a chance here at least to rally back up to this 8-day simple moving average. So I trade the UNG for the long, KLD for the short. So what I'm going to be looking for here is a scalp that can go up here over the 200-day and get back at least to that 8-day. Okay, so it probably won't be much, but I like UNG there. I trade like 5,000 shares, so I don't need a whole lot. Okay, let's take a look here now at the ONQ. Okay, here we have the ONQ. Now you can see here, this is the NASDAQ futures. Okay, so we're up here above 500 already. Okay, I don't really like it when the market rips up first thing. I always like it when it sells down. That gives you a buying opportunity. Okay, usually when the stuff starts ripping up, that has a good chance of selling off here too. So always remember that. Now you can see here how we have this high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and this 21-day is stopping it dead in its tracks. Okay, so this is what we're watching here today on a closing basis is 18,837. So when you're watching the futures here, the charts are the exact same way as they are during regular times. Okay, so here we're looking at that 837. Now, the next level that we can get up to is going to be right here. You're looking at that 19,144. Then we'll come up here at 19,256 level. Then we'll come up to the top of this candle here at 19,383. But really, our big goal is to get right back here to that 50-day at 1991. But you can see here, when you look at the futures and you look at the regular, NASDAQ chart or the S&P or the Dow, all these charts are sitting at pretty much the same kind of a situation. Okay, so this 21-day is going to be very, very key on a closing basis. We need to close back above it. We don't want this pop and drop situation to happen here, which could very, very well happen when you open up 500. A lot of people want to sell maybe into that kind of a situation. So you got to be very, very careful. Now we got to oversold condition here. Now we're rallying up here so nicely. And we have this MACD, the green is over your red. So if this keeps rolling, you can hit that target area right there very easily at that 931 here, and you would reverse this pattern of this downtrend situation. So just keep that in mind here. Okay, now let's take a look here now at Tesla. Okay, here we have the Tesla here on your daily chart. Now, this has got it all stretched out. Now, you can see here how we're just riding sideways. And then when it came into that election time there, this had a huge just run right on up here all the way to that 488 level. Okay, now, Tesla right now is sitting at, see, this is showing like 237. This was the close of yesterday. But Tesla right now, what are we sitting at here, is at 253, okay? So rally right on up here, basically on the news that they're going to relook at their numbers for 2025. They're right on schedule to make I guess, a cheaper version of that of the electric car that is going to be like more affordable kind of thing. I think they want to try to compete with this BYD. That's a China electric car. The only thing about it is that BYD, I looked at it at the auto show, and I'll tell you, man, the fit and finish on that car, the quality of that car, 500 and some 50-mile range for that electric vehicle, and 30 grand. I don't know. I don't think it's going to come to the U.S. because they'll put a 100% tariff on it. But I'm just saying, they got a lot of work to do if Tesla's going to do with this. Now, again, remember Tesla. You also remember this guy always take this into like a grain of salt because he sells dreams too. Okay, I remember when he came out that he wanted to come out with the Cybertruck. I think it was 2017, and it didn't even come out till 2022, 5 years later. Okay, and it's still not ready the way you can see here, and it came out at $100,000. So you got to always look at it. But again, this is not just a car company. It's an AI. It's a self-driving. It's a SpaceX. It's a whole ball of wax here. So always take that in consideration. Also, and a lot of people like this stock. It's a meme stock. It's pretty much on hopes and dream kind of situation. But the earnings here, they were just disaster, is what I can see. Another thing I don't like about it is the resale now on these Teslas. Not good. Not good at all. Okay. So anyway, what we're looking at here, even though it's not sitting at 250, we're looking at here at this 244 range. You're looking at that 8-day, and we're looking right here at that 256 level. That's going to be your 21-day. Now, if this could rally up here, we're looking right here at that 50-day at that 275 level. Now, you can see this is the same kind of chart where we have this high, lower high, lower high. This is a downtrending chart here with this double bottom situation. But if the price jumps up here, Okay, just watch on a closing basis this 21 SMA, whatever it is at the opening, and watch this 8-day. That's going to be very, very critical there on a closing basis on the old Tesla. If it keeps rallying, just watch that 50-day. Okay, that's gonna be strong resistance because we're downtrending. You crossed the 100-day, the 200-day, and we're downtrending. Okay, so that's going to be, I don't know how far the stock could actually, like run. Now, while we're watching this 214 level, this is going to be very, very critical, in the days coming. If that is lost in kind of a situation here, we could come down to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at that 182 level. Okay, so that could be a big time target. Not saying it's going to get there, but if we start losing that 214, you could come down to 182. So this is basically a trade. Now, you could trade this, obviously TSLA, but you can also do an easy way to short this, and I shorted this pretty much all the way and down with TSLS. Okay, and it worked absolutely great. Once we see this peak like this, a top like this, and we see that series of lower highs, and then once you start getting below that 21-day and that 8-day, okay, that tells you got to leave the shorty on, okay? But then you got to know when to take it off too. So TSLS is a good way to short this stock if it comes off here. Okay, let's take a look here now at Netflix. Okay, now Netflix had absolute blowout numbers, okay? And I think going forward, they're going to have the football, they got the WWE, they're going to have the sports package, they're going to have a lot more than just watching movies kind of situation. Now, real time, Netflix is sitting here at, what is it sitting there? At about 1,050 level, okay? So what we're looking for here is this 1,064, okay? So if you just come to the left of the chart here, this is 164.50. We had 164.97, okay? So right now, that's a double top situation unless we close above. Now, if we close above that 164 level, we'll then look for 1,100. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Now, I wish your stock would split. That would be awesome. Just like NVIDIA did, that would be great. But we don't have that as of right now. So this right now, we have this double top situation. So just watch that 1,064.97 level. That's going to be very, very key. Now, again, if that does sell off here, then we want to watch the top of that candle. You're looking at that 1,019 level, and then we come down here to 998. Now, you can see here, where we ran all the way up here, came down, and then we were holding this level right here, okay? So what we did is we had this double top, and then obviously we broke through it, and then yesterday we just slammed right on up here. So let's just see what the reaction is today, okay? But just watch this 1,064 level. If we can close above it, then you're going to head to that 1,100 area very, very easily, okay? But if you can't, then this double top will play out, and this will come right on down lower. Now, always watch this key, this 8-day, that 963 level, and then watch that 50-day. These are all going to be your key support levels. So if it does sell down, as long as it holds that 8-day, that's going to be a good buying opportunity here to trade this. Okay, so this is all what I do like on this here. I'm a long-termer on this, but I also trade this stock. It's also a very, very good trader. But once we get above that 8-day, it's going to be sideways to up kind of an action. Now, at RSI, we still have room to run on there. Your green is over your red. That shows momentum to the upside. So actually, I think the Netflix and, the tariffs, nothing's going to affect this thing. It's all digital, okay? So actually, this is a really good one to get in. Any kind of a pullback, I'd be a buying opportunity. Or if you close above 1,064, that's a buying opportunity to take it buy on strength and go higher. Okay, let's take a look here now at Chipotle. Okay, here we have CMG. This is Chipotle here, okay? Now, the earnings are coming out here today after the close. Now, you can see the same kind of a chart, big run up here, and then we have this, downtrending channel, okay? So what we're really watching here on the upside is going to be this 8 SMA here, okay? So CMG here, okay? So you're looking at that 48.52 level here, and then we're going to look here at that 49 level, and then we can come all the way up here to that 51, and then we have that nice retest there at 52.32, okay? Now, we have to see what the reaction is. You see that be the top of the candle, so we just don't want to double top that situation. If we do, then we just bring this price channel right across here. Okay, so then what you got is you got 54 level, and then we can come all the way up here, top of this candle here. What do we got there? We have 55.70, and then we start running into your 100-day and your 200-day SMA here. But we have to break this downtrend cycle. That's what's going on here. Right now, the restaurants are getting hammered because of the pricing and the tipping situation and the whole 9 yards. I just read an article yesterday about this. Gordon Ramsay, a couple people went to Boston to buy, and they had 2 hamburgers, a fry, and a milkshake, and it was $120 plus tip. I'm thinking, I can make this at home for $10. Oh, what, $150? Holy! By the time you get your tip in there, it's like, Wow, that's a little pricey for like an average person kind of going there and eating. So again, watch this 8 day. That's going to be very key in that 21 day here, and then we go. We just follow the simple moving averages all the way up to that 50 day. Now, downside here, this 44.46 is going to be very key because we hit that 44.46, and then we retested it here with that 45.21. So we have a double bottom situation. But let's just see how that all shakes out. Now, again, if that's lost here, then what we do is we come all the way down. We can just follow all these candles all the way down here, until we get right to the bottom. What we're looking at here is you're looking at all the way down to that 38 level, okay? But let's not worry about that right now. We got to make sure they seem to have a good handle on things. So let's just see how this all shakes out. But remember, the earnings are be out today after the old close. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here later today. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, crude oil, and natural gas, and then we throw something else in our mix. Now, remember, the Nasdaq's going to be open up over 500. So just be a little bit patient to see if people's traders are going to sell into this here, or they're going to try to keep running it on up here. So it got to be just a little bit cautious. I always like it when the market is crashing. That's a good buying opportunity to take it long versus up high and take it down. But again, just remember, if the T-Man can get all these tariff situations settled out, you get the Powell settled out, you get some of this uncertainty out of there, this market could rip higher like you just can't even believe. So always take that in consideration. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.